GM, welcome back to the channel. In this one, a quick update on the recent events here as we have Mt. Gox Bitcoins on the move. So without further ado, let's jump into this one. Make sure you do subscribe if you're new. So BTC here has taken a bit of a tumble, as you can see. Yesterday, we got all the way up to around 70,400, comes back down around 4% into this quite pivotal area, 67.5. We need to maintain above that for bullish continuation, or at least having a stab towards the upside here. You can see it's kind of bounced off that area. Now, with the movement of these Mt. Gox tokens, and for anyone who hasn't been involved in crypto that long, if you were to go back any of the previous years, since 2014, when Mt. Gox was first hacked, there will be headlines, there'll be news stories, there will be events in the charts where Mt. Gox has caused some kind of tumble to the downside for BTC. It's just one of those overhanging clouds of this industry, as a lot of people are owed quite a lot of Bitcoin to the tune of like 140 odd thousand, I believe, is in the possession of the Mt. Gox creditors. So 68.1, bit of a bounce here, nothing too sexy, but as I say, this cloud is looming. So it says here, Mt. Gox transfers 9 billion in Bitcoin to a single address as part of the repayment plans, which has sparked a bit of a sell-off here. As you can see, this is Karpeles, and one of the creditors back in the day, that'll be 2014. Mt. Gox, where is our money? He did a very, very bad job, to say the least, at securing the funds over at Mt. Gox exchange, and this is something we've lived with for a long time, but he is back here. So Karpeles, this is his Twitter feed. He's just posted, as far as I know, everything is fine with Mt. Gox. The trustee is moving coins to a different wallet in preparation of the distribution that will likely happen this year. There is no imminent sale of Bitcoins happening. So potentially putting in the bottom there with a show of force saying, look, obviously he probably has quite a good understanding of the procedures here, but he's saying, look, no imminent sale of Bitcoins. Wu blockchain's been posting about this, showing all of the movements. Initially just 12,000 or about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin were moved, but we then had further movements, another 14,000 Bitcoins, 16,000, 32,000, 32,000, 34,000. So it does seem that in essence, what they've done is moved the vast majority of the Bitcoins to this address here. So this address begins with 1JB, has received over 141,000, currently holding a balance of 137,000. And as you can see, up like a skyscraper here as the inflows occurred today. A few test transactions early on, but it seems they've shipped the creditors' Bitcoins to this wallet for dispersion. And the date, so there's a stated deadline of 31st of October, 2024 as the kind of, we need to reimburse people by then. So there could be reimbursement that occurs any point now. But it seems from what Mark has just tweeted out that it's not imminent, but there is a bit of a overhang in the markets. Now, you'll see this from quite a lot of Bitcoin maxis. They'll be stating things like, I personally expect most Bitcoin gets hodled. This is something you can't really state because you have no clue what's going to happen. No one has any idea what the creditors are thinking. I mean, in terms of the stats, it's pretty outrageous, like the actual percentage recovered here. So you've only recovered 15% of the Bitcoins, but in terms of a percentage recovery, because you've been forced to hodl for 10 years, 14,079% you're up overall. So people would have made a lot of money by being forced into hodling here, which is pretty cool and a real lesson for Bitcoin maximalists. Like, if you do believe in Bitcoin, if you hold it long enough, you probably do really, really well. Of course, there will be a lot faster horses at the race. But these people have made a fortune. So potentially what you'll see is people obviously take some chips off the table. There's going to be some sell pressure around this. But during this period, we also had the Bitcoin Cash fork as well. So there's a lot of Bitcoin Cash coming to these creditors as well. So presumably they'll dump all that. I could see that getting absolutely nuked down once the distribution occurs, but we don't really know how much or what percentage of these coins that reach the creditors are going to be sold, etc. It is just all guesswork at this point, but some interesting stats within here. Now, do remember these people have had ample opportunity to sell their claims to other entities as well. So not all of these claims will be going directly to the actual creditors themselves. They might have been sold on to other third parties. That could be downward sell pressure as well. We don't really know. But overall, I think this was a good message from Jedi. People and bots who panic sell because Bitcoin gets moved on the blockchain are simply not bullish enough. Now, when you have these big wallets being tracked, there will be algos plugged in. Like, they'll see that there's been a huge amount of Bitcoins moved, and that will be an automatic sell by the algos. So whether we see a bit of a recovery post this, we'll have to see. It seems to be a little bit of a bounce happening right now. Overall, though, I wouldn't be too panicked about this situation. It is just one of the black clouds over this industry. And I do feel once this does pass, we'll probably see maybe more impact in the price charts before the event rather than the actual event itself. Typically happens in crypto. And I think once we do get past this, that'll be blue skies ahead, because there's not that many negative looming clouds at this moment in time. And so if this does provide some downward sell pressure, it's going to be an opportunity, as we're seeing just a huge seismic shift, a 180 in the political landscape for Bitcoin and crypto's acceptance in the West. So hope that is somewhat helpful. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.